So we've just had a tweet in from David Cameron. I believe it to be the actual David Cameron, so it's nice to know that the Prime Minister is kind of interested in this kind of stuff. Let's talk about caffeine. What are the benefits and problems with it all?
Yeah, caffeine. So, I mean, caffeine's kind of a complex area, but when we talk about caffeine, most people are thinking of it in the context of, you know, teas, coffee, Coca-Cola, Diet Coke, that kind of thing. I kind of have two views on caffeine. Firstly, in the form of sort of a recreational drink, you know, something either to pick you up or something you just fancy, there are pros and cons to some of those drinks. Some of those drinks are like a Trojan horse for sugar and other substances, like, you know, if you're going to have your Coke, Pepsi, that kind of thing, that can usually be a massive source of sugar. So it's not so much the caffeine that is the problem.
Yeah.
Teas and coffees, you start spooning in your sugars, it becomes
Irish coffee as well.
Yeah, getting your old Bristol cream in there. Yeah, why not for breakfast particularly? I mean, you know, that's where caffeine can be a problem. In some situations where people have a lot of anxiety, certain overly stressful situations, maybe some heart issues, caffeine has some other problems because it's a stimulant and it may actually make some of those problems worse. But that's probably not really an issue that we're overly concerned with, you know, with the types of people that are watching this. But at the end of the day, caffeine in the form of black coffee, espressos, Americanos, black tea, white tea, particularly green tea, because although there's not a whole lot of caffeine in green tea, there's a lot of other benefits to green tea and white tea particularly, and to a certain extent black tea, a lot of antioxidants and other benefits. Coffee's got its own benefits. You know, there's some good things we can say as long as you're avoiding the bad stuff that's associated with
the Trojan horse stuff, but use it for... I mean, there's some studies that show that perhaps half an hour before training,
well, that was going to be my next point.
Things like this.
Caffeine also has another benefit, and that is that it has been shown to help mobilise and release fatty acids. And there are benefits to fat loss and to endurance situations where consuming sources of caffeine prior to workouts or prior to an actual competition or training event may actually give you better access to body fat, basically, and give you sustained energy and release, therefore helping you lose weight and performing for longer in your events. But also we know that that benefit tends to be based on occasional consumption more than regular consumption. Your body tends to get used to these things.
Right, so you don't want to go too much in.
For competition purposes, like before a football or rugby match or a triathlon or something, I would say if you're going to use caffeine for its ergogenic benefits, you do that before a competition, but you don't do it during training. If you're looking to lose body fat and you're not actually competing in anything, there may be some benefits to regular consumption of caffeine. So having your shot of caffeine either as an isolated source of caffeine in a supplement, which may actually be more effective according to research, or yes, a coffee or a tea without the other junk. Say half an hour before a training session may well have some fat burning, you know, benefits. But it's not going to be a magic bullet.
There you go, David. All your questions answered there. Nice to know we're helping the government out.